Hello everybody, welcome to yet another Figure Not video. Now Figure Not from studies. So today we're going to talk about work. So basically in our day-to-day lives, all of us do some amount of work, don't we? Now this work, if you say it in the English way, if you say this type of word in the English way, I would be my father or my mother would probably say, yeah, where do you work? Yeah, I'm an interior designer. I work over there. I work over here. But if you actually see it in the science way, if you actually see it in the science way or physics way, work, this is not known as work, right? If I would be working for a scientist, so I would do stuff like I'm pushing a really heavy box. It's not moving, but I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm just standing under the sun because my boss told me to. That's in my checklist, and I'm just standing with a heavy weight on my head. So what happens is, when all of this is done, when I tell my boss, hey, I want my salary, I've been working so hard, like there's so much beads of just sweat coming out of my face, like I want my salary. So the scientist will actually say, I'm not going to give you any money. Why? Because according to physics, it won't be known as work. So if this is not work, what exactly is work? That's the question you would ask me then. So in our day-to-day lives, all of us do some work, right? When we walk, run, play, lift things, carry load, ride a bicycle, or push or pull anything. Underline this word, push or pull any object. We say we do work, but there is a difference in the way we use the term work in our day-to-day life and the way we use it in physics. For example, let's see this. When a boy is reading a book, we say he's doing work. Similarly, when we push a ball, we say the work is done by us. When a potter is carrying a heavy load on his head, we say he's doing work. But in terms of physics, no work is done in this activity, just as I told you. Now, let me also tell you the reason why we say that no work is done. Well, in physics, work is said to only be done when an object moves on applying force on it. As in, you apply force on an object, it moves. That is when you can call it as work. Okay, that is when you can call it as work. So, for example, let's little change the circumstances over here. The boy is pushing the wall. The ball moves. This guy over here, he is lifting the object or walking along with the object. Then we'll say that work is done. No work is said to be done when the object does not move, even on applying force on it. Okay, let's take one more example. A girl riding a bicycle, a horse pulling, a cart, a boy kicking a football, and a child running in the playground are all examples where work is said to be done, isn't it? So all of these are basic examples of work. Why? Because the object the girl is applying force on is moving. A horse pulling a cart, the cart is moving. So if this is a cart, okay, the cart is moving. A child running, the child is running. The child is the object over there. The child is moving, right? So if I would take a child over here, okay, he's running. So the child is the object over there. So the child is moving. And these all are the examples where you can say work is done, definitely. So that is why we say work is done in these examples. So thus, for work to be done, the following two conditions must be fulfilled, right? Work must be applied on an object, force must be applied on an object, because if we don't apply force, the object won't move, because we need to apply force in order to move the object, right? The object must move in the direction of the applied force. So force must be applied. All of this is like common things. Let's add a little more into it. So let's say that I am pushing a box. Okay, I'm trying very hard to push this box over here. The box moves. Okay, the box moves, and it is also in the direction because I'm applying force over here. The box is moving over there. So totally the two conditions are fulfilled. One, that I'm applying force. Second, that both are in the same direction. So I can say work is done. Okay, so work is also done when the force applied on an object changes its shape or size. For example, a rubber band. In some cases, the applied force does not make the object move, rather it changes its shape. Like if I stretch a rubber band, I'm doing work because I'm applying force on the rubber band, and the rubber band is also changing its shape. So, for example, let's see this example over here as well. For example, when a boy squeezes a rubber ball, he does work in changing the shape of the ball. So you say work is what? Work is done. Why is it done? Because the ball from probably this changes to like this, a little squirt. So it's changed in shape. There is change. What is there? There is change in the shape. Let's go to the next page. So let's see this. Chapatis using dough, or when we squeeze a slice of orange, we do work in changing the shape of the chapatis or the orange. Definitely, because we are changing the shape over here. So what happens is work is done in both of them. There's a rubber ball over here and there is a slice of orange. If you guys have heard of stress balls, right? Work is also done over there. Why is it done over there? Mainly because the size of the object is changed. Now let's move on to the measurement of work. So suppose a person A pushes a box, say 30 kgs, to a distance of 5 meters. Another person B pushes the same box to a distance of 10 meters. We can say that person B has done more work than person A. This means that work depends on the distance of the object moves in the direction of the force applied. Come on, let's look at this closely. So we have been given two cases over here. One is there's 30 kg box and there's 5 meters. Second is there's again 30 kg box but there's 10 meters. You say you will, or at least if we look into physics, this is more work. Over here more work is done. Why is more work done? Because in case B, even though the weight of the object will be same, this person is moving it for a longer distance, as in there is more force applied and the object is moving more. So more work is done, more force is applied. Understood? So this is why we say it like that. Now let's take this also. Suppose a person A pushes a box, say 30 kgs of a distance of 5 meters. Person B pushes a bigger box, say 60 kgs to the same distance. Now, okay, so before we look at the answer, let's look at this. So this is a box of 30 kgs. This is a box of 60 kgs. They both move it 5 meters, okay? They both move it 5 meters. More work, where is more work done? Definitely over weight of the object is way more. 30, 60, almost double its size and double its weight. That is why more work is done over here. Come on, let's even look at the solution over here. So clearly in this solution you see that person B is doing more work, as I said as well. Why? Again, because there is more weight. That is why. So when you say work is done, you take two conditions. That is, the work is in the direction of the force applied and there is displacement in the object. But when you want to compare two quantities, you will take into consideration the magnitude of the object, as in you can say the weight of the object and the distance. Like in case 1, both of them had the same weight, but in case B, the object moved by 10 meters. That is why you can say that more work was done. In case B, in the second case 1, there was 30 kgs. In case B, there was 60 kgs, almost double the weight. That is why the weight and the distance, these both really matter when you're comparing quantities as such. So like we saw an example over here, two quantities were compared. That is why you can say that case B was more in that case as well. So hence we can define work as the product of force applied and the distance moved by the object in the direction of the force applied. Direction of the force applied, right? There is force applied, there is motion. Same. Also, when force is applied on an object does not move, no work is said to be done. That is, W equals to 0 and D equals to 0. Okay, moving on to the next page. Let us discuss some more examples. So, let us discuss a very special situation of a porter carrying luggage on his head. The weight W on the luggage acts downwards, and the porter applies an equal upward force on overcoming the weight. When the porter does not move, the work done is 0. Hence, no work is done. When the porter moves, distance covered is not 0. The porter carrying load on his head moves on an horizontal platform against the force of gravity due to the weight. The work done by the porter against the force of gravity is 0. So let me make this easier for you guys and explain this well enough again. So over here what is happening is a porter is right here. Okay, he has a luggage on his leg, or on his hand, I'm sorry, or his head. I told every organ is possible, right? So he has luggage on his head because he's a porter. He carries luggages. You know those people who you see near train stations? You also call them coolie, or if not a coolie, you can also call them as porters. So this porter over here, we are given a situation that this porter is carrying luggage on his hand. What is he doing? He's carrying luggage on his hand. Again, hand. I'm sorry, his head. So he's carrying luggage on his head, and the weight of the luggage acts downwards. Why? Because he's carrying luggage. So how will the weight go? It's like this, right? And the porter applies an equal upward force to overcome the weight. So he is also putting an upward force. But when the porter does not move, the distance covered is 0. Hence, when he does not move, there is no work done. Because there's an upward force, there's a downward force, but there's also a force this side because he's walking. Or this side, depending, whatever. So when the porter moves, the distance covered is not 0. So when he does not move, it is 0, but when he does move, there is movement. Luggage is also moving, this is also moving. Even though this is like this, there's an upward force also. So there is 0. So it is not 0 when he is moving, and when he is not moving, it is 0. So the work equals to 0 when there is 0 displacement, and the work is non-zero when non-zero when the displacement is there. Okay, when the displacement is there, or when displacement is there. Now let's look at this example as well, or this explanation. So the porter carrying load on his head moves on a horizontal platform against the force of gravity due to the weight. The work done by the porter against the force of gravity is 0. It is because distance covered and force of gravity are perpendicular to each other. Remember, when two forces are perpendicular to each other, that means, let me draw a better diagram. Okay, so when two forces are perpendicular, there's one force like this and there's one force like this. If you connect them, this is a 90-degree angle, right? There's a 90-degree angle, that means it is perpendicular to each other. So when this happens, the work done is 0. Similarly, over here, the porter carrying load on his head moves on a horizontal platform against the force of gravity. So if gravity is definitely like this and he is moving like this, the work done is 0. Why? Why is it 0? Tell me. It is mainly 0 just because its movement is like this and the force of gravity is like this, which makes again a 90-degree angle. Like over here, this is 90 degree right here. Look at this. This over here is 90 degrees because the force of gravity due to the weight is here and the movement is here. Okay, so this is how it works. Now, the work done by the porter against the force of the gravity is 0, as I said, and it is because distance covered and force of gravity are perpendicular to each other. So, in other words, work is not done. So before I said when the porter moves, work is done, because that's what we would think. Why? Because the luggage is upwards and the luggage is moving. Why? Because the porter is moving. I said this before, isn't it? And that's what was written. But when you actually think about it, it is 0. Why? Because the force the downward force in this, the force of his movement is perpendicular to each other. Okay, similarly, let's take one more example. You know those playing things, you have a stone and then you have a thread. I've played it very much in my childhood. I don't know if you guys have played it, but what happens is you have like a thread and you have a stone, and you go in circles and circles and circles and circles and circles like that. Okay, you keep going in circles, and that is how it is. So in this also, when a stone tied to one end of a string is whirled in a horizontal circular path, the motion of the stone is always perpendicular to the force of tension in the string. Hence, no work is done by the force of tension on the stone. So this is the direction of the motion, you can say, or this you can say. But there's the force of tension is almost, you can say, over here. So this just almost makes like a 90-degree angle, and that is why you can say no work is done. So when you see like normal examples and you can say yeah, work is done, over there you can clearly state that yes, work is done, like when a person is moving a box. But in questions like these, a person with a heavy load on his hand is walking, questions like these, understand a bit and see how the two forces are there. If it is in a perpendicular, remember that no work will be done. So put a little of thinking into your into the questions you get, right? And you'll definitely get full marks then. My wishes are with you too. Anyway, let's take one last example. So when the earth revolves around the sun, the force of attraction on the earth by the sun is always perpendicular to the direction of the motion on the earth. Hence, no work is said to be done by the gravitational force of the sun on the earth. So if you see by physics, our earth and sun do no work. Even though they do a lot, by physics or by common sense, the two forces are perpendicular to each other. That is, what is it? That is 90 degrees. Okay. Now let's get to know a little on the math side of physics. If you all like maths, you'll get to know this and you love this part as well. So let's get to know the units of work. So we know that work done equals to force into distance moved by the object. Unit of work equals to unit of force into unit of distance, which equals to Newton into meter, which equals to Newton minus meter or Nm or joule. Thus, the SI unit of work is joule. Hope you all understood this very simple thing. A little definition to this as well. 1 joule of work is said to be done when a force of 1 Newton moves an object through a distance of 1 meter in the direction of force. Okay. Let's go on to the next page. Yeah. So now let's get to know about the multiple units of work done. So 1 kilojoule, this is something this is something I cannot explain to you guys because they're just normal units. This is something you guys can take a screenshot of and learn it well. So whenever you have conversions, you're able to do that well. So I'll give you 2 to 3 seconds to do so. Yep. I think it's done. Yes. Now let's move on. Let's read this at least, if I cannot explain, because definitely they're units. So 1 kilojoule equals to 1 kilojoule equals to 10 by 3 joules. 1 megajoule, which is 1 megajoule, equals to 10 by 6 joules. 1 gigajoule, that is 1 GJ, equals to 10 by 9 joules. And in the CGS system, the unit of work is erg. So in the SI unit, it's, what is it? It is joule. And in the CGS unit, it is erg. So 1 joule equals to 10 by 7. 10 to the power of 7 ergs. So when we measure the force in kgf and distance moved in meter, the unit of work is kgfm. So 1 kgf equals to 9.8 newtons and 1 kgfm equals to 9.8 newton meters, which equals to 9.8 joules. Okay, joules is named after Sir James Prescott Joule. It's his last name, that is Joule, because he laid the foundation of the theory of conservation of energy, and that is why it is called joule basically. If for most of you know this, the SI unit of energy and work is the same. Both of them are joule. So yes, so that is why he got to know the conservation of energy, and energy and work, both of them almost have, you cannot do any, you need energy to do work, and for work to be done you need energy. So both of them are converted to each other. That's why their CGS, or sorry, their SI unit is also same, that is joule. Okay, enough of this energy talk. We're on work. Let's get back to our chapter. So let's start with example number 1. We have 4 examples over here to solve. I'll solve 2 with you, and the rest 2 will be homework. So example number 1 is, how much work is done when a force of 15 Newton moves an object by 8 meters in the direction of force applied. So work done equals to force into distance clearly. So over here we're given 2 units, that's the force applied and the distance moved. Definitely it'll be 15 newtons into 8 meters, okay, which is equal to 120. So the answer is 120 joules. Very easy, very simple. It's easy yet simple. And your formula, basically work done equals to force into distance. Okay. Now example number 2, the work done in moving an object by 5 meters in the direction of force is 100 joules. Calculate the force applied. So over here the work done is 5 meters. Yes, as I was saying, the work done is 5 meters, which equals to the distance, or the direction of the force is 100 joules. So work done in a moving object by 5 meters in the direction of force is 100 joules. Sorry, I got it wrong. I clearly got it wrong. Yeah, so it's 100 joules equals to force into, this is done, so it'll be force into 5. So your 5 will move over here. You do the conversion, all of that. Let's just look at the final answer, okay? The final answer after doing all of this work will be 20. Why? Because 100 joules divided by 5 meters will equal to 20 Newton. So the force equals to 20 Newton. Force equals to 20 Newton. Now I'll give you a second or two to just take these questions down. Don't look at the answers and do it. Okay, do it normally so you would understand that well as well. Okay, and that's it from me to you today, or from, yes, and I hope you all understood this chapter very, very well and understood work as a whole. If you have any doubts, feel free to post them in the comment section and I'll be here. Bye guys.